All right, so let's take some time to settle. Have the knees bent in the semi-supine position. Have the arms down beside you with the palms facing uppermost. Just open the heart a little bit. And that sense of settling. So just taking this time to arrive. And we're mindful that this semi-supine position brings energy into the body, the head supported, the spine supported. Just gently draw the chin in towards the chest. And just allow everything to settle. And there's a sense of dropping into the back of the body. And feeling that support underneath you. And allowing everything to settle like water. Water easily disturbed, but when it's left alone, it becomes settled and still. So just taking this time to leave everything as it is. And then noticing the breath. Notice how you're breathing. And as you become conscious of the breath, consider the physical body. Consider the balance between the right side and the left side. And notice any tendency to grip in the muscles. And allow the mind to soften. And this allows the muscles to soften. So really taking time to arrive for your practice. And it might be said that one of the qualities that's helpful to cultivate when we think about the well-being of the mind and the body is the art of letting go. And we do this via our asana practice, and we do this via the breath. So the suggested breathing ratio is breathing in for a count of 3, pausing, and then breathing out for a count of up to 6. If you find that there's any strain in breathing in this way, then you can always work with a count of 2 in and 4 out, or 3 in and 4 or 5 out. So however you breathe, allowing the breath to be relaxed and fluid and soft. So there's no striving. And as we breathe in, we're breathing into the belly. We're inviting the breath down into the belly. And as we breathe out, there's that sense of letting go. There's that sense of release. You might choose to include the Ujjayi control at the throat, where the tongue sits on the roof of the mouth and the back of the throat is closed slightly. And if that's not familiar to you, then just work with a natural breath. For that long, releasing out breath of letting go. The belly rises as you breathe in, and the belly drops back as you breathe out, softening. And just letting go of any clinging, any gripping in the mind or the body. Breathe it out. Let it go. The face soft, the jaw soft. And as you continue to breathe in this way, begin to bring in a pelvic tilt, so that we take the breath into the belly as we breathe in, and as we breathe out, we draw the navel in towards the spine. We breathe in, the back of the waist just kind of naturally rises. We breathe out, the navel comes in towards the spine. And you might choose to draw up through the pelvic floor muscles at the end of that out breath. So there's a mula bandha, a lock, locking the breath out. Breathe in, belly rise. We begin to get some movement in that lower back. We begin to get some movement through the pelvis. It begins to tilt in one way and then the other way. And when you lock the breath out, when you use that mula bandha, release the lock before you breathe in. Good. Releasing from the organs, releasing from the nerves. Each out breath assisting that sense of letting go. Let's take one more round in this way. And when you've completed that round, pause. Just drop again into the back body. Feel the breath in the belly. Maybe a little bit more movement now with the diaphragm. And then slowly, and in your own time, take the arms back, interlace the fingers, and extend one leg long and the opposite leg long. And point the toes towards you. And really breathe into all the spaces in the body, the joints, the fingers, spreading the toes, heels of the hands moving back, heels of the feet moving away. Hey, breathing out through the mouth, some sighing breath. Good. And then when you next taking your out breath, return the arms back down beside you and just pause in Shavasana. Have the legs long in Shavasana. Hey, So a real sense of feeling supported. And just gently roll the head from side to side, just to ease out any gripping in the neck. So the ear slowly drops down. And we're noticing how that feels. So we're not thinking about it, we're feeling it. And then when you come back into the centre, open the mouth nice and wide into a big square. And then breathe out through the mouth. Good. And twice more in this way. Nice. Good. Lovely. One more time. Breathing in open. Good. Well done. And just soften. And then draw that right knee towards you. Just gently hold the right knee. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the right foot relaxed. And as you breathe out, just encourage the thigh towards the belly. Just beginning to loosen up that right side of the pelvis. Notice how it feels on that right side. And then we'll do a little bit of work into the hip, placing one hand on the knee with the fingers pointing towards the foot, and another hand on top, and just begin to make small circular movements with the hand. Just begin to ease that hip. Feel the back of the body supported, so just the movement in the right hip. Notice how it feels. And then when you return back to the body, begin that in the opposite direction. Just oiling that right hip joint. Loosening the hip. When you come back into the centre, pause, give that knee a little hug. And then we'll make those circles more large by taking the knee out to the side into the right hand and away and across the body to the left hand, so the left hand comes to the outside and back in towards the chest. So there's a wider movement here, a bigger opening into that hip. Oiling the hip joint in this way. And then when you come back into the chest, pause there. And take that in the opposite direction. Take it across to the left side. Use the left hand, take it away, out, over to the right side, back in towards the chest. Just taking some time to notice how it responds to that movement, that opening. Let's take one more round in this way. And then when you come back into the body, bring the knee in and give it a hug. And then we'll move into a deeper twist by placing that right foot on the left thigh. The right palm is down. And begin the journey of that twist. So it's a slow, gradual process. As you breathe out, the navel comes towards the spine. And this allows the knee to journey down towards the ground, the right palm down. And we're breathing out, we're squeezing out any build-up in the inner body. The right hip comes up. But it's gentle, there's no striving, there's no pushing. It's very gentle. The more we breathe out, the more the spine rotates. Good. Let's take one more breath here. And then when you return, give that knee a hug. And return back into Shavasana, extend the leg long. Maybe shake the legs out if you need to. And pause in Shavasana. And inhale deeply into the belly. And exhale. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Exhale completely. And then when you're ready and in your own time, bring the left knee in. And just take a few breaths, drawing that left knee towards you. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Just breathing out, loosening up the left side of the pelvis. And then with the left side, place both hands on the knee with the fingers pointing towards the foot. You begin to make those small circular movements through the left hip. Very gentle. Oiling the hip joint. And in the other direction. Keep breathing out. Keep that letting go. So when we concentrate, sometimes we tend to hold the breath. Good. And then when you come back into the centre, pause there. And then those larger circles where you release the right hand and the knee goes to the left side, away from you, across the body, into the right hand back into the chest, gently over to the side. So nice large circles. And then when you next return back into the centre, just pause there and then take the knee in the opposite way. But have the hands very lightly guiding the knee across the body. And then when you come back into the centre, pause there. And then move into that twist. Place the left foot on the right thigh. Have the left hand down. And you breathe into the belly, and as you breathe out, begin that journey of the twist. Breathing into the belly, breathing out from the belly. And with each out breath, as the navel comes towards the spine, the knee begins to travel down towards the ground. And you keep breathing out from the belly. Maybe the left ear drops down. But the right hand's very lightly on the outside of that left knee. Good, lovely. Releasing. Breathing out. And then slowly return back into the centre and give that knee a hug. And then gently release the leg back into Shavasana. Again, just shake the legs out in Shavasana. Hey, just breathing into the belly, breathing out from the belly. Good. Just noticing sensations that may arise. Dropping into the back body. And still the belly rises as you breathe in and drops back as you breathe out. So we're waking the belly up as we breathe. And then into Apanasana, draw the right knee in towards you, hold the right knee, draw the left knee to meet it into Apanasana. Interlace the fingers if you're able to, or take the hands behind the back of the knees if that doesn't feel comfortable. And again, use that out breath, that breath of letting go, to draw the thighs towards you and to release the lower back. Hey. All the charge that builds up in the body, taking the time to let it out, let it go. Good. And then after your next out breath, place both hands on the knees. Keep the knees together and begin to make small circular movements, keeping the knees together, to massage the lower back. Easing out any friction that may have built up in the lower back. And the shoulders are very soft and you're feeling it. Notice how it feels. The movement comes from the belly, the feet are relaxed. Let's take one more round in this way. And then the opposite direction. Easing out the lower back. And then when the knees come back in towards the chest, pause there. And keeping the knees where they are, clasp the hands underneath the back of the head and allow the elbows to drop out to the sides. And just gently bring the chin in towards the chest so there's a little bit of length through the back of the neck. Again, as you breathe out, the thighs naturally come in towards the belly. And just open the chest, allow the out-breath to encourage the elbows down, the collarbones to widen, the heart to open, the chest to lift. Good. And then take the hands either side of the head with the fingers. We'll do a little bit of strengthening work. We raise the head up. And we take the left elbow to the right knee and we extend the left leg long. Inhale back into the centre. Exhale to the opposite side, back into the centre. So we use the out-breath to come across the body. But the movement's coming from the belly, so the strength is in the belly. Breathing out, strengthening. Let's take one more round in this way. And at any time, just pause and stop. And then when you turn back into the centre, back into Apanasana, bring the knees in towards the chest. And then very slowly take both arms back and raise both legs up and encourage the heels to be higher than the toes. And just drop into the back body here. And with each out-breath, feel that sense of lengthening through the back of the legs, palms facing uppermost, back of the waist drops down, toes wide, spread. Again. And then when you bring the knees back in towards the chest, just give them a hug. And then finally, separate the knees and begin to circle them in opposite directions. And again, feel that movement coming from the belly, so we're feeling it. And in the other way. Take one more breath here. And then when you return back into the centre, drop the feet down, back into semi-supine. And bring the knees together and allow the feet to come a little wider than the hips. So the knees knock in towards each other. But again, the palms facing uppermost. Heart centres open. Breathing into the belly, breathing out from the belly. And then when you come back into the semi-supine position, plant the feet down. Keep the left knee where it is. Inhale into the belly. And as you breathe out, drop the right knee down to the ground. And then return it as you breathe in. And then the left side, drop the left knee down and return it as you breathe in. And as you continue to work in this way, just notice how the hips respond. Notice how it feels. Notice any gripping, any holding on. With each out-breath, allowing the knee to come a little bit closer down towards the ground. And when you've completed that equally both sides, bring the soles of the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana and allow both knees to drop down. And place the hands on the thighs, very gently on the inner thighs. And as you breathe out, the back of the waist drops down, the knees drops down. But this is all about noticing any gripping. This is all about any tightening, any holding on. Just feel that support. And then take the arms back into a square so the arms are nice and soft. So again, the chest and the heart is open. And as the mind softens, as the body softens, the heart too begins to soften, begins to settle. using the out-breath to open, to receive. And let's take one more breath here. And then when you release the arms down, again, knock the knees together, take the feet a little wider. And just pause here. Allow the pelvis to settle. So we counter that opening with a closed posture. But we're staying with the breath. Keeping that conscious connection with the breath. Returning to stillness. And then after your next exhale, keep the feet where they are and just open the knees and bring the knees over the feet. And maybe separate the feet a little wider. And take the arms out to shoulder level for Jatara Parivriti. Inhale into the belly, and as you exhale, drop the knees again, both to one side, the same side. And then inhale into the centre. And then exhale slowly over to the opposite side. And just continue to work in this way. Just 3 rounds in this way. Encouraging the knees down, but really being mindful about the knees here. And again, we get that lovely sense of length through the belly. So any build up in the belly begins to release, and the head moving in the opposite direction to the knees. And when you've completed your 3 rounds, come back into the centre and bring both feet and knees together. The palms can be up or the palms can be down. And then again, with the feet and the knees together, take the knees to one side, head opposite direction. Inhale, centre. Exhale, opposite side. And really feel how the body responds to this movement. Notice how the body responds to the breath. And the more that we're able to let go, the more of a twist we're able to achieve. But again, there's no striving, there's no forcing, it's just a noticing. And when you've next taken the knees over to the side and completed your round, come back into the centre and separate the feet, semi-supine, and return the arms back down beside you, but this time with the palms down. And just pause here and allow the breath to centre and allow the spine to be centred and feeling centred. And then to counter that twist, the bridge posture, using a count of 3 in and 6 out. So we'll do it together. So the palms face in towards the body. We give to the feet. We inhale for a count of 3 as we come up into the bridge. We take both arms back and we pause there. And then as we breathe out for that count of 6, the spine comes down. We separate the knees, we draw the knees in towards us, and the head comes up in between the knees. And then we drop the feet down and the hands down, and we pause here. And then when the in-breath arrives, we count 3. As we come up into the bridge, come up onto the shoulders, pause in the bridge, lift the heart, lift the hips. And when the out-breath arrives, slowly, that count of 6, so it's a much longer out-breath, that releasing breath, as the knees come in towards you, and the head comes up between the knees. So it's a real sense of letting go from that spinal column. So we're strengthening as we breathe in, use the ground underneath the feet, and then there's that softening, that releasing through the spine as you breathe out. Separate the knees, head comes up between the knees. And just once more in this way, feet down, palms down, inhale, extend into the fingers, come up onto the shoulders, lift and open. Have the palms facing uppermost, so the back of the hands in contact with the ground. And then when you breathe out, Long out breath. And this time when the head drops down, return back into Apanasana. Just pause in Apanasana. Hey, breathing out. Then circle the ankles. Just have that sense of unlocking the ankles. Spreading the toes, waking the feet up. That gentle influence on the heart. We work the feet in this way, both directions. Hey. And then when you drop the feet down back into your semi-supine position, pause here. And just take some time to drop into the back body. Soften. Breath in the belly. And from here you can either roll over onto your side to come up, or you can take the hands behind the backs of the knees and gently roll up. Good. Coming into your easy boat, so rooting down through your sitting bones. Take the hand behind one knee, take the hand behind the opposite knee. And drop the breath into the belly to anchor you. Drop the shoulder blades down, the back body, and maybe the toes come up in line with the eyes. But notice the tendency here to hold the breath. So deep breath into the belly, and as you breathe out, the spine kind of lengthens, the crown of the head comes up. There's that steady effort in maintaining this easy boat posture, and the gaze is soft. And this real sense of rooting down into the sitting bones. Good. Let's take one more breath here, deep inhale, deep exhale. And then come into a cross-legged position and come onto your blocks or your blankets and allow that spine to be nice and upright. Yeah, use your blankets or your blocks. Whatever feels right. And when we turn, the tendency is the head gets involved and wants to lead. So in our practice, we bring the hand onto the knee and take the right hand behind and come up onto the fingertips of that back hand, lengthen up through the spine, and then begin to turn from the tailbone. So from the tailbone, begin to turn up through the lumbar spine, through the thoracic spine, up into the neck. And that gentle gaze over the shoulder. And use the muscles in the eyes as well to allow you to move a little bit deeper. And then slowly unravel back into the centre. Place both hands on the knees. Spine nice and upright. And then the other side, take the hand behind onto the fingertips so we keep that length up through the back body. And just that gentle rotation through the spine. Just imagining the spine is like a sponge and you're wringing out any friction that may have built up along the spine. Good. Keep rooting down through the sitting bones. And then when you slowly unravel, come back into the centre. Place both hands on the knees. And just take both hands back, just a gentle backward bend. Allow the chest to come up towards the chin. Again onto the fingertips. Just to create a little bit of length through the back body. And then again come into Supta Baddha Konasana. Just bring the soles of the feet together. And allow the knees to butterfly out to the sides. So a lot of our breathing apparatus is here in the groin area. So when we work in this way, we're not only just working the hips, physical part of the body, but we're working into that breathing apparatus. So we're loosening everything up. Good. And then from here we're coming into Janu Shirshasana. So you might choose to stay on your blankets. Extend the left leg long and bring the right foot inside the left leg, if that feels comfortable. And if the knee complains, take the foot under the leg And if that doesn't feel right on the knee, then we'll keep the leg long. So the right foot into the leg and the left leg long. And just very slowly, use the right hand on the outside of the left knee. And just turn to your left side. Again, rooting down through the sitting bones. And the head's the last thing to turn. Keep breathing out, softening as you breathe. And then when you return back into the centre, line the breastbone up with the leg. And just place the hands gently beside the leg. And because we've become so headstrong, the tendency when we come to a forward bend is the head wants to lead the way, and that happens. But when we use our out-breath, when we soften and lengthen, we're much more able to come down into a forward bend. But it's all about the out-breath. It's all about the letting go. There's no striving. It's just about that sense of release and softening. And the gaze is beyond the toes, which allows a little bit of length through the lower back. Good. Let's take one more breath here. And then very gently bring the hands back towards you. And come into Dandasana. Bring the right knee in. Just ease the legs out. And in Dandasana, again, very lightly on the fingers, just gently draw the toes towards you and move them away. Just a little bit of work into the calf muscles. And then the other side, bring the foot in. And just slowly begin that rotation to the side. The right side, gazing over the shoulder. Again, the fingertips in the back. To allow that spine to lengthen up, crown of the head spiraling up. Let's take one more breath here. And then as you release, again coming into that forward bend with that attitude of softening, the little toe comes towards you. You can move the cheeks away from the buttocks. Sometimes that helps to develop that. But it's a slow process, it's a gradual process. It's a journey. Very gently easing forward. Hey, breathing out. And the more that we breathe out, the more that we soften, the more that we move into that forward bend. Good. And we feel that release in the lower back here. Let's take one more breath. Deep inhale, deep exhale. And then gently bring the hands back towards you. Use the left hand to bring the left knee in. And return back into Dandasana. And then to counter that, either take the hands back behind you with the fingers pointing away, or have the fingers pointing towards you. And just slowly, as you give to the hands, begin to lift the hips and point the toes away as the shoulder blades come in towards the back body. And then when you drop down, come over onto all fours for your cat movement, Majarayasana. And so bringing the knees underneath the hips, lining up the body, spreading the fingers, rooting down through the fingers and the heels of the hands. And as you breathe in, just dropping the belly down and taking the head back, just pausing there. And as you breathe out, rounding through the spine, navel comes up, lower belly comes up, at Mula Bandha if you choose to. So as you breathe in, collarbones nice and wide, feel that movement, that release through the spine. Long out breath. And let's take one more round in this way, breathing in and pause and breathing out. And notice how it feels to move in this way. And then after that, next out breath, come into kind of puppy dog, where we bring the forearms down and the gaze is forward. And then begin to, keeping the thighs where they are, just begin to drop the belly down. Begin to drop the belly down. And the chest follows the belly. And if you're taking it further, if it feels okay to do so, begin to creep the hands forward. And as the fingers creep forward, the chin drops down, the chest drops down. So you get that lovely curve in the lower spine. Good. Let's take one more breath here. And then slowly bring the hands back towards you. And as you send the knees nice and wide, just come into a long arm child pose and bring the forehead down and allow the arms to be nice and soft and relaxed. And as you breathe out, just soften the belly and allow it to drop down between the thighs. The elbows soft, everything's soft, just dropping down towards the ground. Good. Let's take one more breath in. And then when you bring the knees together, just slightly back into your tabletop, we're going to take the hands to one side. So we creep them over to one side. We take the buttocks back towards the heels. And as we creep the hands over, we begin to open up the side of the body. Breathing out. Some people like to come up into the fingertips and lift the elbow for a slightly deeper opening. But just do what feels right for you. But feel that opening down the side. And then gently back into the centre. Walk the hands back into the centre. And then slowly over to the opposite side. And the buttocks stay back towards the heels. And the more you root down through that hand that's on the outside, the more of an opening you'll get down the side of the ribcage. Breathing out. Okay, just take one more breath in. And then slowly come back into the centre. And just transition into your downward dog, so place the hands down, tuck the toes under, ease into your downward dog. Very slow, that gradual process, allow the head to drop between the arms and the heels to move down. Hey, maybe soften one knee and just do what feels right, soften the opposite knee. Breathing out. And then soften both knees and just allow them to drop down. A very generous dropping down, and this allows the head to gaze between the hands, but keep rooting down through the hands. Good. And then again, slowly drop down onto all fours. And drop back into your long arm child pose and take the weight off the hands here. And just soften. And just massage over the forehead to ease out the sinuses. Hey, breathing out, dropping down into the front body. Good. And when you've taken your next out breath, come back onto all fours. And extend that right leg long onto the ball of the foot. Just encourage the heel down towards the ground. And then allow that right leg to come up in line with the body. Keep the weight equally through the hands. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. And the toes are pointing down. And if you feel stable here, root down through the right hand and bring the left arm forward. The fingers of the left hand pointing up towards the sky. Use the front of the left foot and use the right hand. So we're rooting down through the ground, through the right hand, through the left foot. Good. And then release. Take a cat movement here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then the left side, take the left leg back, tuck the toes under. Encourage the left heel down towards the ground. Gaze is slightly forward. And then the left leg comes up in line with the body and flex the foot so the heel moves to the wall behind you. And as you root down through that left hand, slowly bring the right hand up and encourage the fingers up towards the sky. So the heel of the right hand moves forward, the heel of the left foot moves back, and the strength is down through the left hand, right foot. Good. And then when you release that, gently come back into Vajrasana, bring the hands back towards you, sit back on the heels, and just pause in Vajrasana. And just allow the breath to drop back down into the belly and the shoulders to relax. And pad if you need to, adapt if you need to. Hey. And then a little bit of work on the shoulders. So we just kind of get into that long arm child pose. We creep the fingers a little bit further forward, and then we slowly move the whole of the front body forward into Bhujangasana, and then the head comes up and the belly comes down. And then back into long arm child pose, and then back into Vajrasana. Bring the hands back onto the thighs. So in your own time, from here, long arm child, creep the body low, down, forward into Bhujangasana, so strengthen through the shoulders, through the arms. And then back, long arm child. And then back into Vajrasana. Final time here. And slowly use the hands, keep the body low, strong arms, strong shoulders into Bhujangasana. And then back. And just pause here in your long arm child pose. And just soften here. And then transition into downward dog. So tuck the toes under, come up into your downward dog. And if you're happy to take that further, you can either just hang out in your downward dog, come into plank. The heels move into the wall behind you. And as you drop the belly down, just allow the crown of the head to move uppermost. Strong arms. And then the belly takes you back into downward dog. So twice more in this way into plank. Back of the neck is long, gaze is soft. As you drop the belly down towards the ground, the crown of the head moves up. Strong arms. Belly takes you back into downward dog. Final time. Into plank. Drop the belly, hanging dog. Back into downward dog. And then from here, send the knees nice and wide. Take the weight off the hands. Come into long arm child. Bring the forehead down. Maybe turn the head to one side to encourage the heart to drop down to the ground. Ooh, just soften here, soften. And then the other side, turn the head in the opposite way. Ooh, elbows nice and soft. Then gently bring the hands towards you into a squat. Tuck the toes under. Send the knees nice and wide into your squat. Good. And then from here, just gently drop the heels down and come up to stand. Good. Stand nice and tall. Relax the toes. So from the ground upwards, not from the head downwards. Little side bend. So we take the feet nice and wide. Have the right hand and just allow it to move down the side of the leg, and the left palm faces uppermost. And slowly bring the left arm beside the ear, and as you breathe out, encourage that right hand down and the left arm comes over. Good. Let's take one more breath here, and then deep inhale. Use the in-breath to bring you back. Pause. And then the other side, take the hand down. Opposite hand comes up. Use the out-breath. Use the out-breath. And a deep inhalation to bring the hand back. And pause. Drop the shoulder blades down, the back body. Now you can either repeat that or we'll work a little bit more strong, so the choice is yours. So really listen to the body, not to the head, not to what we think we should do, but what feels right. So as we take the right hand down, the left arm comes up beside the ear. And then soften that right knee, which allows the right hand to move a little bit further down. And then extend that right leg as the arm comes over. And then a deep inhale, the arm comes back. And pause. Take a breath. And then the other side, left hand down, right arm up beside the ear. And then soften the left knee, Slide the hand down the side of the leg, which brings the arm a little bit further over, then extend the leg. Good. And then come back. Step the feet together. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Squeeze the shoulders in towards the ears. Breathe out through the mouth. Twice more. Inhale. Once more. Inhale. Good. So, coming into tree posture, so we know that some of us will prefer to use the wall or the ledge. And we're just feeling our way into it. And this is where we stand on one leg and we bring the opposite foot either onto the opposite foot or we bring the foot inside the leg. And there's a little bit of weight here between the foot and the leg. The gaze is forward. Remember, this is about a lot to do with the gaze. Try not to drop your gaze. And then the arms come out to the side and then maybe the hands come up. Keep breathing. Stay with the breath. Stay with the breath. Just soften into it. Relax the effort here. Relax the effort. When you come down slowly. Just take the weight from one foot to the other. And then the other side. So come into it really slowly. It's the intention that we have when we come into it that makes the difference. The gaze is forward and soft. And just like a tree, the arms can move. Good. And then when you come out of it with control. Take the weight from one foot to the other. Pause, stand in Tadasana. And then our vinyasa, bring the hands to the heart, come forward on your mats. Just take some time to settle into stillness. And when the in-breath arrives, bring the arms up. Tilt the head, pause the breath here, and exhale, letting go as you breathe out. Inhale halfway, out through the mouth. Soft knees, inhale, arms bring you up, all the way up, palms together. And exhale, hands to the heart. So that's one round. In your own time, feel it. Long out breath. Halfway. Out through the mouth. Good. Soft knees. Inhale, arms bring you all the way up from the ground upwards. And exhale. Hands to the heart. And just gently drop the head down towards the hands. Have the hands quite low here, so the thumbs come towards the breastbone. And one more time in this way, deep breath in. Long out breath, deep out breath, forward bend. Letting go, deep inhale, deep exhale. Soft knees, inhale, arms bring you all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. And pause. Returning to a sense of stillness. And then we'll repeat that and lunge the left leg back. So we inhale up. We exhale, forward bend. We inhale halfway. We breathe out through the mouth. Slowly take the left leg back. We drop the buttocks, we lift the chest, we're looking forward, a little bit of motion through the body. Back leg floats up. Step the feet, forward bend, soft knees, inhale, arms bring you all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Right side, deep breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg from the belly, lunge the right leg back, drop the buttocks, lift the chest. Little bit of motion here, back leg floats up. Step the feet, line up the hands and the feet. Uttanasana, soft knees, inhale, arms bring all the way up, and exhale, hands to the heart. So we're looking to create heat in the body, but we're looking to keep the nervous system cool through the out-breath. So the heat is the tapas. So the left side again. So we inhale up, forward bend, halfway, out through the mouth. Slowly, left leg goes back, looking forward. That little bit of motion. Back leg floats up. Step the feet together. Soft knees, inhale, all the way up, palms bring you up, and exhale, hands to the heart. Drop the head to the hands, to the hridaya. Right side, deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly take the right leg back. Pause here, looking forward. And then just gently turn to your open side, your nice wide open side, and come to a forward bend. And maybe hold the elbows if that feels the right thing to do. If the legs feel nice and strong in that forward bend. And keep breathing out. And with each out breath, as the legs lengthen, the crown of the head drops down. Okay. Then bring the hands down onto the ground. And very slowly bring the right knee over to the right foot so you get that length through the left side. And then the opposite way. Bring the left knee over to the left side. And you can either continue working in this way, but if you're working more strong, you're creating that length through the left side and the buttocks drop down to the right heel. And use the hands to bring you back into the centre. And then the other side. Good. And then back into the centre. And just pause. In your wide angled forward bend, just pause there. Take the weight equally now through both feet. Long out breath. And then inhale, bring the hands onto the hips, come up halfway. And then deep inhale, come up fully, through the legs, through the ground, and pause. Just drop the chin down towards the chest. Keep the breath in the belly. And then into Trikonasana, so turn the right foot out, turn the left heel away, float the arms up, move into Trikonasana. And in these postures, in these asanas, we're mastering our effort. We keep the breath, the consciousness, conscious of the breath, look up to the top hand. With that sense of the breath moving in and out of the belly, we're looking to create a sense of clarity in the mind. Good. And then we're going to reverse that. So inhale, come up, and take the left hand down the back leg, and the right hand comes up and over the ear, and you gaze towards that back hand. But the effort is steady, and you're looking down towards the back hand on the leg. Good. So the effort is steady. So this is about mastering the effort. Maybe loosening up from the effort, so we're not striving or pushing. Good. And then deep inhale, come back and square the feet. And just pause here. And then the other side, take the left foot out, Work nice and slowly from the ground upwards. The right heel moves back and away. And we inhale, float the arms up. And this hip flexor comes towards us, and as it comes towards us, you move forward onto the leg. But if the head gets involved, the tendency is to want to move directly into a deep Trikonasana. So we're just mastering our effort and having a sense of how it feels. Breathing into the belly, breathing out from the belly. And then from here, very slowly coming up and reversing that. Bringing the hands up, taking the back hand down. Antamari, looking to that back hand. Good. And then from here, we're going to windmill the arms to the front leg into Parsvottanasana. So the left hand comes down, the right hand follows. The right heel lifts. So it allows the right foot to face towards the front. Pause in Parsvottanasana. And then from here, place the hands down, soften the front knee and move into downward dog. So the front foot comes back into downward dog and just hang out the weight equally now through both hands, through both feet. And the neck is long and the armpits are opening as you give to the ground. And then from here, coming into plank. And then from plank, slowly lowering yourself down through the upper body. Drop the knees down, have the arms down beside you. Turn the head to one side and take some breaths. Again, feel that connection between the breath, the belly, and the ground. Softening. Then we'll do some work to strengthen the back body. So bring the chin onto the mat, keep the arms down beside you. This version of Shalabhasana. Have the palms facing uppermost. As you breathe in, give to the backs of the hands. And raise one leg up and point the toe. And exhale to lower. And then the other side, inhale up. And exhale to lower. So that's one round. So the invitation is 2 more rounds in this way. Use the breath. Use the back body. Strengthening the back body. And when you've completed your 3 rounds, again, relax, turn the heads, the big toes come towards each other, the heels flop out to the sides. And for some of us that might be enough, and that's fine, just continue to rest. And for those happy to take it a stage further, bring the toenails down onto the ground, but bring the right arm forward. And we'll work with the right arm and left leg. So as we breathe in, we raise the head, chest, arm and leg, and exhale to lower. 3 times each side, inhale up, and exhale to lower. Inhale up. And exhale. And turn that arm down. Swing the opposite arm forward. Use the back of the right hand. Use the front of the left foot. Inhale. Opposite arm and leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Final time. And when you return the arm back down beside you, bring the big toes together, allow the feet to flop out to the side, turn the head, wiggle the hips, and take some breaths. And relax the whole of the back surface of the body. And then come up into child pose, bring the hands underneath the shoulders to support the upper body. Bring the knees forward. Have the arms down beside you, bring the forehead down. Relax the arms. Breathe into the back body, expand and open the back body. And slowly come up to sit for your pranayama practice. So coming up and sitting in your blocks or your blankets. So nice upright spine. And if you're sitting on anything, just be mindful to sit on the edge of it so the knees drop down forward. Good. Lovely upright spine. Breathe in through both nostrils and out through both nostrils. And we'll take some Ujjayi breaths for those that may not be familiar with it. And this is where the tongue sits on the roof of the mouth. We close the back of the throat slightly, so that as we breathe in, it's a little bit like breathing in through a straw, and it creates a snoring sound in the throat, like a little Darth Vader sound in the throat. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Slightly easier on the in-breath than the out-breath when you begin, but it's a wonderful breath. Sometimes referred to as the victorious breath. Calms and soothes the nervous system. Good, and then from here moving into Nadi Shodhana, so the right hand comes up, left palm, thumb and index finger gently touch. And we return to our count of 3, 6, or a count that feels right for you. Close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale for a count of 3, up through the left. Close the left nostril. Exhale for a count of up to 6, out through the right. And continue to breathe in this way. Think about the pause between the breaths. Take the gaze inwards towards the brow center. Very gently directing the flow of breath with the thumb and the ring finger. Using a count that feels right for you. Just allowing the out breath to be a little bit longer than the in breath. When you've next taken the breath out through the left nostril, release your hands. And as you sit, try to figure anything out. Stay with the breath. And then very slowly coming down into Shavasana, your relaxation. And just dropping down into the back body. Make sure that you're comfortable. And just imagine that you're dropping back into a big sturdy hammock, safe and secure. And just being conscious of the natural flow of breath as it moves in and out from the belly. And we'll finish with this quality of letting go. And the out-breath offers us that gift of release. So with each out-breath, there's a letting go. Letting go of the toes, in turn. Breathing out, letting go of the ankles and the calves. And as you breathe out, letting go of the shins and the knees. Letting go of the thighs and around the hips. Breathing out, letting go of the buttocks. So with each out breath, just allowing yourself to let go of anything you no longer need. Just breathe it out. Let it go. Anything that no longer serves you well, breathe it out from the nerves, the muscles and the bones. Breathing out, letting go of the shoulders and the arms. Letting go of the hands and the fingers. Maybe noticing that as we let go of the fingers, they just gently, naturally curl in towards the palms. Softness of the palms. Letting go of the thumbs. Let go around the throat. Feel some space around the throat. Letting go of the jaw, sides of the mouth. Letting go around the eyes and the eyebrows. And as you continue to let go, embodying that sense of calmness and peace, as you rest. And then returning back into this room, very slowly and gently, beginning to wake up the physical body. Fingers and toes. And starting to breathe a little bit more deeply. Moving in a way that feels right for you. And then rolling over onto one side, take some breaths on one side. And then in your own time and when you're ready, coming up slowly to sit. Namaste. So one of the things that they asked the Dalai Lama with all of his wisdom, and the Dalai Lama, you know, this incredible human being regardless of our faith or what we believe in, but someone who meditates for about 6 hours in the morning before he even utters a word, so that everything that he does comes from a place of good intention. But they asked him if he could offer some advice to us humans, us mere mortals, what advice he would give us. And he's always laughing, and he said, "Oh, now that's a question." And he said two things. He said, one, they think very much, they think a lot. This is not helpful. And he also said, less clinging. And when you begin to consciously notice your thoughts and how you think and how you feel, which some people might say means that we're alive, we notice that which we cling on to. Someone says something, something happens, and we cling on to it and we build it up and we become quite justified in our actions. And of course, it's not helpful to us. And when we cling in the mind, of course, the body's not separate from the mind. The tendency is we cling on in the body. So this letting go is incredibly powerful when we notice things coming up. We just breathe it out and let it go. Just that gift of the out-breath. Good. There's much going on at the moment, so we may come in useful. All right. Any questions, please ask.